Alright, so first off, I live in the USA where the President of the United States has over 90 felonies, so is a criminal, has been impeached but it didn't do anything, and is essentially the dictator here or king here now. And where people's supposed solution to that is to say, oh, just talk to your representatives, as if that's going to do anything, or if that's has done anything, as if we haven't tried that, and a fuck ton of people in our demographics haven't been trying that, and it hasn't fucking done anything. And when Democrats had the House and had the power, they didn't fucking do anything, because why would they, when it benefits them to have a dictator who will uphold the rich above the poor, and most of the people in power are rich. So if we have a criminal in power, a criminal king essentially, with over 90 felonies, what is that saying to the young people of this country? And if people's supposed solution to that is to just pretend that voting still works, pretend that people have an equal voice, pretend that we don't live in a white supremacist empire completely built, ran, and maintained in the blood and subjugation of indigenous people, black people, and everyone listed out in plain English for anyone to see in Project 2025, who this country sees as its biggest threat, where this president has, in an executive order, tried to write out of existence trans people. Well, clearly we still fucking exist, so that's not gonna fucking do anything, because you can't just write out people from existing or criminalize and make people illegal for existing. All that's gonna do is make us hide. We're still gonna fucking exist. It just makes our lives less safe. So how do you live in that, in a country where your existence is criminalized, where people around you don't give a shit, and where allies pretend to give a shit but aren't fucking doing anything? I would say the example that is being given to the young people of this country right now is that you can get away with whatever the fuck you want as long as there's no one to hold you accountable. The example that is being set by the people who rule this country right now is that we live in a dictatorship, and we live in a world now where you can do whatever the fuck you want as long as there's no one to hold you accountable. What do you do with that? Well, that's up to you. You can use that, and then we can go back to the Wild West, how it is on the internet, and you can go out and you can harass minorities. You can call people like me a retard and a faggot for existing publicly. You can make our lives unsafe and try and criminalize and hunt us, how they're doing. Or you can try and fight that and survive and find happiness despite it. You can find empathetic and kind people despite it. You can build local communities, because I saw something recently, and it kind of brings to mind, there's a difference between being, well, the thing I'm thinking of is, someone said there's a difference between being homeless and hopeless. And I happen to know for a fact that a lot of trans people do end up homeless. A lot of us do end up homeless, and if you are trans and you're not aware of that, it's time to become aware of that. The reality is, a lot of us are forced into poverty, forced into homelessness, forced into unsafe living environments, forced to live with shitty fucking abusive people to survive. And that's just the fucking reality. Like, it's been that way for a while. Things were kind of getting better, but were they really? I mean, it really depends who you are, right? And I think that if you look at the history of the LGBT community in this country, you will find, if you actually look at it, that all the rights we have were gained in fighting against the government, not peaceably trying to fit in with society, not trying to be normal, not trying to be palatable and acceptable to society, not trying to appease the government. Historically, our rights have come from fighting against the government, rioting, and brutality. That's how things have actually changed. That's how things have actually changed for the LGBT to gain rights in this country. So I would say, if we already live in a country of criminals where just by existing alone we are criminals, if my existence can just be written out in an executive order, I would say, if you are another young trans person, be watching and taking note of what they're doing, of what's happening. Educate yourself on history and stop buying the lie that the people around you are going to protect you. Stop buying the lie that as soon as the straight people and the cis people don't have to be helping you, that they're going to stick up for you. Because I'm speaking from experience here, and I know it's not just mine, that when push comes to shove, those same people saying that they have your back, saying that they're going to protect you, saying that they give a shit, will leave you for fucking dead when it suits their privileges and interests. That's just the fucking reality. I'm sorry, but it is. So what you need to do is defend yourself. Find a way of keeping yourself safe and find a way of protecting yourself and find a way of surviving this fucking system by any means necessary. And I do mean any means necessary. And I'm not saying you should go out and manipulate people or hurt or take advantage of people, but if everyone is fucking doing that to you and that's just okay and that's legal because the laws don't fucking apply anymore, because it only applies to poor people, right? Like, it only applies to us, but it doesn't apply when it's fucking rich people. So you have to do whatever the fuck you can to survive. And you have to find whatever it is that is going to help you to survive. In my personal case, for me specifically, that's sorcery and demonolatry. Becoming a wizard, learning witchcraft is my means of self-defense, and it's been highly effective, I might add, for myself. But for someone else, that might be something different. For you, it might be learning a martial art. It could be buying a gun, learning and being trained in combat of some sort. Whatever you have to fucking do to protect yourself, though, in this country, you should do. And stop fucking listening to these people who aren't in your demographics and expecting them to get it, because they're not going to fucking get it. I'm sorry, but they don't. All these old-ass fucking white people I see in my feed who are trying to talk on behalf of trans people, trying to act like they give a shit. I don't fucking buy it. I'm sorry, but I don't. Like, you didn't fucking do anything when Biden was making all of these, like, putting all these bills in the first place, and now all Trump's doing is turning those bills into law. Like, no one was fucking paying attention when in 2022 I was talking about transgenocide, and I lost friends over that shit then, because they couldn't fucking handle it. Because people just want to, like, believe in the delusion that this society gives a shit about you, that it's going to protect you, that it's not going to come for you next. Well, we're already there, so I would say do whatever the fuck you can to take care of yourself. And I'm not going to fucking pretend that we can get out of this country either, because we can't. Most of us are fucking poor as hell, scraping by, doing whatever we can to survive here. I mean, I'm talking for, like, a lot of trans people. Most of us are not fucking, like, middle class to upper class. So the average fucking trans person statistically is going to be living in poverty, or is going to have been falling into poverty or fallen into homelessness. So do whatever the fuck you can to take care of yourself, because these people do not give a shit about you and they are not going to protect you. You have to protect yourself and find other people like you to protect you. And that's what I'll say on that for now.